Tamra Judge's apology tour won't extend to Vicki Gunvalson as she says her former friend is dead to her. Tamra Judge has been reflecting after intense backlash for her actions during the Real Housewives of Orange County Season 18. The 57-year-old has been attempting to right some of her wrongs and came out of the recent three-part reunion with sworn enemy Shannon Beater in a good place. However, Tamra has confirmed that she isn't interested in repairing things with fellow Trace amiga, Vicki Gunvalson. Tamra was asked about the status of her relationship with Vicki on the red carpet for the American Reality Television Awards earlier this week, and her response was pretty savage. While Tamra told Access Hollywood that she was happy that the reunion featured plenty of resolution with Shannon, the door is shut on a reconciliation with Vicki. That be ****ch is dead to me, the traitor's alum declared in the below clip. Instead of expanding on her answer, Tamra decided to move on to more pressing matters. Tamra and Vicki probably won't find peace with each other. It's a shame that Tamra and Vicki have been unable to find peace, but it's not too surprising when you consider what they've said about each other this season. Perhaps producers will take note and bring Vicki back in a more permanent capacity next season because it's hard to imagine Alexis Bellino getting an encore. Tamra had been vocal in recent months about being unsure what she did for Vicki to be so hostile toward her. From an outside perspective, it's evident that Vicki has been Team Shannon since the get-go, and Tamra has never let go of that. It probably didn't help that Vicki has criticized Tamra at every opportunity, but there has been a back and forth between them this year. Things got so ugly earlier this year when Vicki brought up Tamra's fraught relationship with her daughter, Sydney Barney. Tamra responded by bursting into tears and telling Vicki she could have her spot on RHOC. Tamra has been called out all season. At the time, this only fueled viewer vitriol towards Tamra because she had no issue bringing up other people's business on her podcast and the show. Unfortunately, Vicki and Tamra seem set to become one of those long-running Bravo feuds, and maybe it would be best if the show and viewers moved on from it. At one point, it seemed Tamra's future on RHOC was doubtful, but now that she and Shannon have patched things up, it will be interesting to see how their dynamic plays out in Season 19. The cast is expected to remain relatively unchanged next season because of the success of Season 18. The sun was setting over the sparkling waters of Orange County, casting a golden glow on the pristine patio of Tamra Judge's new favorite spot, her own backyard sanctuary. She had recently revamped the space, installing a fire pit perfect for intimate confessionals, which had become her specialty. Tonight, the topic on her mind wasn't fitness classes or tequila shots, it was Vicki Gunvalson, her former friend turned sworn nemesis. Tamra sat back in her cushioned chair, a glass of chilled Sauvignon Blanc in hand, and let out a deep sigh. Apologies had been a recurring theme for her this season on the Real Housewives of Orange County. She had faced the wrath of Shannon Beater, the cold shoulder from Emily Simpson, and even an unexpected confrontation with Gina Kirchenheiter, all of which required her to dig deep into her reserves of humility. But when it came to Vicki, Tamra's well of remorse ran completely dry. "She's dead to me," Tamra declared to the camera during her latest confessional. Her piercing blue eyes, usually softened by laughter or sarcasm, were icy and resolute. Like, I don't even want to hear her name anymore. Vicki Gunvalson does not exist in my world. The roots of the rift. The once unbreakable bond between Tamra and Vicki had been forged in the fire of countless seasons, where their laughter, tears, and tequila-fueled antics became legendary. Together, they were a force of nature, polarizing, chaotic, and unapologetically themselves. But as with all epic friendships in the Bravo universe, their connection began to fray under the weight of betrayals, miscommunications, and ego clashes. It wasn't just one thing that had driven them apart. There was Vicki's alleged meddling in Tamra's marriage, the rumors she spread about Eddie's sexuality, and the way she threw Tamra under the bus during the infamous Brooks cancer scam debacle. Tamra, for her part, wasn't exactly innocent. She had unleashed plenty of shade on Vicki, questioning her integrity and openly mocking her questionable choices in men. Still, they had always found their way back to each other, until now. The final straw. The breaking point, Tamra revealed, had come at an off-camera charity event several months earlier. Vicki, in true OG fashion, had cornered a mutual acquaintance and proceeded to air Tamra's dirty laundry with the precision of someone who had memorized every salacious detail. She told this person that I was bankrupting Eddie by funding my business ventures, Tamra recounted, her voice tinged with disbelief. Can you believe that? She has the audacity to talk about my financial situation when she's been sued by half of Orange County. According to Tamra, Vicki's remarks didn't just hurt, they cut to the core of who she was as a person. I've worked so hard to build Cut Fitness, to create a life that Eddie and I are proud of. And for her to try to tear that down. No. That's where I draw the line. No apologies here. When Shannon suggested during a recent cast trip to Cabo that Tamra extend an olive branch to Vicki, Tamra's reaction was swift and explosive. Why is it always on me to make amends, she had shouted, her voice echoing over the crashing waves. I'm not apologizing to someone who doesn't even know the meaning of the word. Shannon, ever the peacemaker, had tried to reason with her. But you and Vicki go way back. Don't you miss her? Tamra's response was cold and calculated. I miss the person she used to be. But that person is gone. This version of Vicki. She's toxic. She's vindictive. And I don't need that in my life. Vicki fires back. Unsurprisingly, Vicki wasn't about to let Tamra have the last word. During a recent appearance on Jeff Lewis's radio show, she addressed the feud in typical Vicki fashion, loudly and unapologetically. Tamra's the one who's dead to me. Vicki exclaimed, her voice dripping with indignation. She's been riding my coattails for years, and now she thinks she's too good for me. Please. Without me, she wouldn't even be on this show. Vicki went on to accuse Tamra of being calculating and manipulative, claiming that her former friend was only interested in staying relevant. She'll do whatever it takes to keep the spotlight on her, even if it means stabbing people in the back. The Housewives weigh in. Back in Orange County, the rest of the cast found themselves caught in the crossfire of Tamra and Vicki's feud. Emily and Gina, who had long felt excluded from the Tres Amigas dynamic, seemed secretly pleased by the fallout. I'm not saying I'm happy they're fighting, Gina said during a group dinner, but it's kind of refreshing to see Tamra and Vicki on opposite sides for once. Maybe now the rest of us can actually have a voice.